Stephen here with another video for you. Today, first off for me, I'm going to complete our video that essentially is a round off of my 2013-2014 cricket season. The other videos on my channel have all been review videos, and so I thought I'd do something a little bit different for you today. First off, this season I played in the Warehouse cricket competition. Now I live in Brisbane, and in Brisbane there's two different types of organised or affiliated cricketing clubs, and those that are actually play in what's called the Brisbane Grade cricket competition, and from that the actual Queensland representative side. So it's the Queensland side that plays in the Sheffield Shield and the actual Cricket Australia fixtures. This year I actually played Warehouse cricket, which is now is a lot more from a perspective of is a lot more about the participation in cricket. Whereas the grade cricket has a lot of talent in it for the guys who actually have aspirations to play as high as they possibly can, and the majority, or pretty much every one of the guys that's currently playing in the Queensland team actually started in some of the lower grades of the Brisbane Grade competition. The flip side of that is the Warehouse competition. Now, the Warehouse comp was actually started many years ago. It was actually based around the guys that are actually working in industry and working in warehouses, and so from memory that's where the actual competition comes. In my particular case, the reason that I decided to play Warehouse cricket this year is when I first came to Brisbane, I was living on the north side, but was actually playing for a team over on the south side, and so I was training twice a week as well as playing 1 day a week. So I was spending 3 days a week travelling to the other side of town, which I didn't really particularly enjoy my cricket or the club atmosphere with the club that I played for. This year, however, I played for the Everton Comets as part of the northern side of Brisbane's Warehouse competition. So basically, Warehouse is split into two divisions, and that's Brisbane North and Brisbane South. So I played B1. So that essentially the grades are a Premier grade, then there's an A grade and a couple of A grades, a B grade, a couple of those, and then a C grade competition as well. And so I played at the top. My team was the top team inside the B grade competition. Now, my particular season started a little bit late because of my trip to India, which those of you who have seen my other videos will have seen that I did a little bit of shopping or cricket shopping while I was over there. And look, I was new to the club, and I had met maybe only one or two of the guys on my team when I first joined the club or first played that first game. And look, I got stuck in and just got on with those guys really well right from the word go. One of the big things that I was really looking forward in the change of club and the change of competition was guys who were playing cricket because they really had a really strong passion for the game, and that it wasn't about winning or losing. It was about making sure that you were playing with a group of guys who you really liked and you were mates who happened to play cricket, and that's what our team really found. Look, we were really lucky. We were able to, when I say lucky, we played really well as a team, and we were able to make it through to the grand final. Unfortunately, we did get beaten in the grand final, but that aside, we really didn't play well enough and didn't really deserve to win the game. So, look, a quick recap of our grand final. The grand final is a 2-day game, and look, we actually lost the toss and were sent in to bat. And we got bowled out for about 120 on the first day. We didn't really play poorly. We just played silly shots to get ourselves out a lot of time. They didn't bowl exceptionally well. We just happened to get ourselves out. I personally played a shot where I just spooned a catch to mid-wicket after doing the hard work of batting for about half an hour to actually get myself and get myself set. And I just spooned a full toss to mid-wicket, and I was extremely cranky with myself. And they were the types of dismissals that we found all day. Flip side, we bowled exceptionally well in the afternoon, and we had them 4 for about 60, I think, or 4 for 60, 5 for 60, somewhere around there at stumps. We came back and bowled exceptionally well. Got them down to being 8 for about 100, so I had about 18 runs to play with, and their number 10 was able to get on with scoring some runs on us. And they were able to get first innings, which meant they ended up winning. They only ended up getting a lead of about 40 on the first innings, and we were able to get those back and set them a target of about 100. for an outright win, and we were doing reasonably well. We had them about two for about 30, I think we had them, when the umpires ended up calling light for the end of the day. And as it turned out, about 20 minutes after that, a big storm came and would have finished play anyway, whether or not we'd stop for bad light. So, look, on the balance, I think probably we played better cricket than what the opposition, especially bowling. And our second innings, we really applied ourselves batting in the second innings and played some very, very good cricket. Just happens to be that on day one, we didn't play well enough to get us across the line. And look, that was a little bit of a definition of our season. We sort of had stages or passages of play through our entire season where we would have probably beat any team in our particular competition and probably any team in the grade above us as well. The flip side is that our actual consistency as a team wasn't particularly fantastic, and so as a result, we did lose some key games that we probably should have won, and so we only ended up second on the table by a fairly small margin, and did actually lose our last game leading into the finals, which wasn't a particularly good preparation for us. But we still, look, as a whole, and look, the cricket aside, the thing that I really enjoyed the most from the season was the actual group of guys that I played with. Look, as I said before, the big thing that I love about cricket is actually playing with a group of guys who happen to be mates. And the thing that brings you together is cricket, and that's exactly what happened in my team. And to the extent where, look, with the exception of that season that I had off for 2012, 2013, I started playing senior cricket in season 99-2000. So that's basically 15 years of cricket of senior cricket, and this season was the absolute most fun that I've actually had. Not so much from a personal performance perspective, but actually playing cricket and playing with a group of guys who are all focused and all after the same outcome. And like I said, it was like playing with a bunch of mates that you've known for years, and you're playing cricket with guys who really love the game for the same reason that you did. So some sensational friends that I've made out of things. And look, the only reason that the warehouse plays through winter as well, and look, I think I'll definitely be suiting up for the winter competition that starts in 2 weeks' time. Except my fiance and I have got our first baby on the way, and there's a bit of preparation stuff that needs to happen as well, as I need a bit of surgery in the meantime. So if that wasn't the case, look, I'd definitely be suiting up for the winter season. So look, I in the past, at the end of a cricket season, my gear gets packed away at come the last game or come the end of the grand final, and doesn't get looked at, doesn't get used, doesn't get touched again until sort of that August time when sort of musters start. Whereas look, it's 2 weeks since the grand final finished, and that was yesterday. And I've already been out with one of those guys from the team. I've had a net session and I'm out organising my gear and making sure everything's sort of packed away. And look, I'm looking forward to the next season already, and it's it's still another sort of 6 months away. So, look, as a whole, I had an absolute sensational season for 13-14. Look, like I said, my individual performances weren't there. In fact, my highest score for the season was actually the first time I went out to bat for the season, and making 42. And my best bowling was in a game against Fernie before Christmas in a one-day game where I took 3 or 4 wickets and was bowling pretty quick. So, look, apart from all those, one of the things I did make sure I did for my team, every game, every time I put on the whites, was in a good positive frame of mind. And there wasn't anything that we couldn't do in any situation that we couldn't get out of. And look, I think that benefited the team a lot. Look, I'll do a couple more videos on sort of some of my personal views on cricket and how cricket should be played and the reason you should be playing cricket. And so make sure you check those out later on down the track. Also, pop me in some comments and some views on if you've got or how your season went. If you started with a new club this year, or even if you just want to put in some comments on about how your season went individually, I'd be keen to see them. So guys, thanks for checking in. Make sure you check out the other videos, or my review videos from my kit videos, and stay tuned for some of those other videos in the near future. Thanks for checking in, guys. Catch you then.